Hey guys, what's up? It's Carlo here, and in this video, you'll learn how to boost your credit score fast. So make sure you stay to the end of the video and learn all the tips, tricks, and hacks to get the highest score possible. And why should you even care about your credit score? Because it will give you better access to the best rates and the best types of loans, which will help you save more money and make more money, whether you're looking to buy a car, a house, or getting a personal loan. Your credit score affects the types of loans that you will apply for. But before we dive deep into it, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button down below. Definitely helps out the YouTube algorithm. But diving right into it right now, your credit score is calculated through a credit card algorithm that works like this. It checks on you every 15 to 30 days to analyze your types of spending habits and if your spending habits have changed. You'll get a grade based on whether it's been booked good or bad, and these habits will give you a positive or negative rating. But before we begin, let's check out what makes up your credit score. Number 1. The largest part of your credit is your payment history, which makes up 35% of your credit score. So the key part of this is late payments, which are usually tabulated every 30, 60, and 90 days. And the more recent a late payment, the more of an impact it will have on your credit. So say for example, you miss a late pay, you get a late payment, it's definitely gonna decrease your credit score around 15 to 20 points based on research. And say you have people that you owe from 5, 6, 7, 8 years down in the past, is definitely going to not be as much of a factor affecting your credit score versus more recent type of late payment. So at the end of the day, make sure you pay your credit card in full at the end of each month. The second part of the largest portion of your credit is your utilization, which makes up 30% of your credit score. This means how much available debt you can use. For example, if you have a total credit line of 100 and you normally would ideally want to use around 30% of your credit line. So if you have $1,000 worth of credit and you use $300, you spend $300 worth, you're utilizing 30% of your credit line. And if you use too much, then it makes you more look like a liability to the creditors. For me, myself, I like to keep it around 10% or less. And at least it makes it more manageable for you to pay off your bills in full, as opposed to having to pay off $1,000 a month for your credit cards. For me, I like to spend around 100 to 200 to 300 max for my credit card bills. Well, obviously everyone's financial situation is different, but at the end of the day, try to minimize it as much as possible. The third largest portion of your credit type is your credit type, which makes up 15% of your overall credit score. This is measured by you being able to handle multiple credit cards. So say for example, different type of credit cards, student loans, car loans, house mortgages, and this shows the creditors and the credit bureaus having this variety of different types of credit will actually help boost your credit score, because you're able to manage all these different types of credit. And in essence, you want to build up your credit score so you could build up to the point where you're able to get into real estate. And especially in real estate, your credit score will, like I said earlier, it will give you the best interest rates as well as access to better types of loans, which will save you more money. The fourth thing is new credit, which makes around 10% of your credit score. This is measured if you are opening many new lines of credit. So say for example, I know me myself, I did credit card churning. So basically what that is opening up new credit cards month after month to access the bonuses and the promotions that they have. Say you have Chase. They're having a promotion where you spend $500, they'll give you $200 back. And then the next month you'll open a Discover It card. They'll have a promotion. You spend $500, they'll give you $150 back. And then the next month you'll do a Capital One, and you spend $500, they'll give you $150 back. At the end of the day, you don't want to always continue to keep opening up new credit cards, new credit cards, new credit cards. That's definitely going to alert the credit card bureaus. But at the end of the day, what I've noticed for me in my history, it has negatively impacted my score. So try to keep your credit cards to like a 5 to 8 maximum. And the fifth thing is the length of credit history, which makes up another 5% of your credit score. So having a good credit history does definitely make a major impact. So make sure you don't mess it up in the beginning. It's better to have good credit with shorter history versus a long history with bad credit. But there are some free tools for you to make sure that your credit is in line. The website that I'll link up in the description up here or in the description down below is www.annualcreditreport.com. This is a government sponsored website to help you check all 3 credit bureaus. So make sure you check it out. And once you sign up for the website, make sure all your address information is correct, your social security, your employment history. Make sure all the accounts on your credit history is correct. If there is any type of inconsistencies, you must dispute it. This will definitely increase your credit score huge. And the ways you could dispute it is either online, through the mail, or on the phone. And you could also sign up through each 3 bureaus, as I said earlier, Transunion, Equifax, and Experian. But just know to be able to monitor your credit, they will charge you a monthly fee. And these credit bureaus usually monitor in increments of 7 years. So having a late payment on your account and having multiple collections obviously will stay on your credit history for around 7 years. So that 7-year time frame is really, really crucial. So what if you don't have any credit? I will recommend getting the following cards: the Chase Freedom as well as the Discover It card. And those are some of the few credit cards that I opened up for starters to help you build your credit. And like I said, make sure you pay it off. So diving into how to boost your credit, here are some following tips. Boosting your credit score is the Experian Boost. It is 100% free to sign up on the website, and it normally can boost your credit score up to 10 to 13 points. And basically it helps you monitor your credit, your spending habits, and basically help guide you on how to build your credit. The second one is Credit Karma. Again, another free website to help you monitor your credit on a weekly basis. And it's similar to Experian Boost, but definitely make sure you check that out. The third thing is ask a family member to be put on as an authorized user. And this can make you basically have good credit. So if you are put on as an authorized user, say for example a relative or your parents, this will build your credit. If you do choose to be put on with your parents, make sure that they pay their bills on time, because this will definitely affect your credit score. And I've seen it boost people's credit scores from a range from 50 to 100 points, which is huge. The fourth thing is to ask the credit card companies and the banks to increase your credit card limit. And as you call the bank and ask for a credit line increase, this will actually increase your utilization. So say you have 1,000, they increase it to 3,000. So at the end of the day, if you're only spending $200 to $300 on $1,000 credit limit versus $100 to $300 on a $3,000 credit limit, it's definitely decreasing your utilization score. But when you do ask to increase your credit limit, that does not mean that you need to spend the whole amount and max out your credit cards. As I said, make sure you pay it off in full. The other thing is stop opening new credit cards, because as you open up new credit cards, this will cause you to have hard inquiries on your accounts, and which will in essence lower your credit score. So usually it stays on your history for around 2 years, so it can lower your credit score from what I've seen around 5 to 20 points. So make sure you pay attention. Another thing that you can do is opening up a secured line of credit. So as you go to, say for a credit union, and you ask to open up a personal line of credit, normally personal lines of credit, they are able to give you a loan at a small fee. So say you open up a $10,000 personal line of credit at a 2% interest rate. Basically, they're giving you $10,000 to spend on whatever you want to spend it on, whether you want to consolidate your debt or pay off some major purchases. You have to make sure that you're able to pay that off. And with that 2%, it's definitely a small fee in regards to what you can use it for in an opportunity cost type of way. In regards to that, the other thing is making multiple payments on your credit cards. So for me, sometimes I don't pay my credit card in full the day before, because before I used to pay my credit card in full the day before it's due. And credit card companies as well as the credit bureaus definitely can pay attention to those things. So say a bill that's due, I will pay it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just to have that history. And as you pay more frequently to the credit cards, the credit card bureaus will definitely see that, as well as the credit card companies, and that gives you a good look. And make sure, a great tip is setting up auto pay on all your credit card accounts, so you definitely don't miss a payment, and at least pay the minimum amount, whether you're going to get charged interest on it. But at the end of the day, as long as you have multiple payments on your credit cards, that is a great thing to have. The other thing is, don't make big purchases all of a sudden. So if you're going to buy or a refrigerator or whatever you want to spend your money on, these major purchases definitely alert as a red flag on your credit. So as you spend $2,000 or $3,000, you're, as I said earlier, you're increasing your utilization score. So big purchases should be made only if you can make sure you pay it off as soon as possible, where you're not getting charged any interest or any late fees. Another thing to do is pay down your collections that are more recent versus the ones that are older. And as I said, your credit history are normally monitored every 7 years. So pay off the credit cards that are more recent versus the ones that are later, because this will have a bigger difference on your credit score. And for any types of inconsistencies, make sure you call the collection agencies, negotiate a balance, and definitely show that your account is paid in full and get it in writing for documentation purposes. It will definitely help you out. Just so you know, CYA yourself. CYA, you guys know what that means. And do not close any credit card accounts. I have been notorious for doing this, because obviously a lot of us in our earlier stages, it's super easy to just continue to swipe. It closes your credit card account. It actually deletes it from the history. So closing your credit card affects the credit card history. So don't ever close your credit cards. Another thing to make sure you stay away from is those teaser rates on these credit cards. So say for example 0% interest for the first 12, 16, 18 months, and after that it'll jump to 28%, for example. And at the end of the day, you got to watch out for this, because eventually you're going to have to pay money that you owe to the credit card company. So say your credit limit is $10,000 and you know that you don't have to pay it off in at least a year, and you're going to swipe, and it ends up getting close to the 10,000, and then all of a sudden you have to make sure you pay off that $10,000, which you should have been paying off and utilizing a lower amount. And those are the way that credit card companies normally get you. In regards to that, you could definitely do balance transfers. I know when I was helping out my wife, she had a lot of different credit card debt on multiple accounts, and what she did, she transferred that all those different accounts onto one credit card, which will have like a 0% introductory rate from 0 to 12 months. So it automatically pays off all those other credit cards, and then you just have to consolidate it on that one card. But make sure you make those monthly payments to pay that debt down. My biggest takeaway for you guys is that I want you guys to get out of debt and not pay any type of late fees, any interest, or basically stop giving the bank your money. You know, the way that I see things, the bank should be paying you for your business. So at the end of the day, don't give these different banks, credit card companies, additional money that you don't need to. And certain things that I like to utilize is making sure the delayed gratification. That's, you know, if you want to buy something, wait about 2 weeks to see if you really want it. If you still want it, then go ahead and buy it. You keep your utilization score 30% and below. Open up new accounts to expand your different variety of credit to basically reduce your utilization score, and that will help boost your credit. Another thing, definitely, especially in today's society, is identity theft. So definitely consider identity theft protection. Many of these different credit card companies that you might open up a credit card with will offer some type of free credit monitoring, and definitely something to think about. And if you ever get some type of identity theft, I'm at least sure everyone who is watching this video has had a transaction show up on their card that they did not make. Make sure you freeze your credit, because when you freeze your credit, it doesn't affect your credit score. And at the end of the day, if you have some type of identity theft, it won't affect your credit score in the long run. So my number one thing is to get you guys up to 740 and above. Once you get to 740 to 760, you're pretty much in the green, in the clear, and good to go. So make sure you start early, start right now, and pay off all your bills in full. So again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.